Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, Qatar 2022. Have we seen fireworks? Have we not seen? We've seen everything you could possibly expect from the beautiful game, but it seems to be taking a slight turn to the dark side and sometimes to the bright side. Joining us today, we have the UK crew, we have the American crew, and we have a special guest referee from Trinidad and Tobago. Darren, welcome to the show. I'll start you off. From the UK, I have Kenneth representing the UK crew. Come on, Kenneth.
Hello, hello.
We have Kay, the smiley one. How are you, Kay? Or were you smiling last night?
Not really, but I'm not shocked. Put it that way, I'm not shocked.
All right. And we have Vim, the analyst, representing the UK.
Hey guys, how you all doing?
Oh, all right. I don't know, man.
It's like the day after the funeral, isn't it?
I think the day off, mate. More like the day off. Representing the USA, we have Joe, Houston Red Army.
Going on, fellas?
And we have Devin from Tampa, representing USA. Right. The quarterfinals, we all looked at it. We looked at the lineups. We said the biggest game in that lineup was England and France. They had Argentina, Netherlands. You had Morocco and Portugal. And we had, what was the third game there? Croatia and
Brazil.
Croatia and Brazil. Right. Let's start with the Argentinian game, which everyone thinks the referee there was absolutely diabolical. I'm sorry. I saw that game. It was poor refereeing. It seemed every time they touched Messi, you got a yellow card or it was a free kick. So how do you even tackle Messi? Just let him just run through? It's becoming a situation whereby it's so bad now. So I'm going to start with Joe. The Argentina game against Netherlands. Yes, it was 2-2. It went to penalty kicks and it all went left for Portugal, for Netherlands, but the refereeing decisions were just horrendous.
Yeah, it was pretty poor. But Argentina, I still felt like they shouldn't have let Netherlands get back into the game. They had that shit in the bag. If they had lost, if they had crashed out of the World Cup in that manner, that would have been just like, oh my God. I mean, you can say, I mean, with England, you look at England, game plan didn't work, and they ended up just crashing out. But with Argentina, the plan was working. They were cooking, and then they let these dudes come back. The last minute, it was insane. Last minute.
That set piece was beautiful.
Oh my goodness, man! But hell of a game. But yeah, of course, we still have to worry about these referees just trying to be fake. I don't get it. It just seems like referees out here just trying to dictate and affect the games in a way that's just, it's not cool. But I would really like to see what Darren thinks about that referee and the refereeing of that game.
Well, look, Darren, I mean, you've seen the referees' decisions in some of these World Cup. It does bring the conversation, like some of these referees seem to be manipulating the game to favor certain teams and certain players to get to a certain part of the competition. What's your thought, Darren?
Well, no, the objective of the match officials is not to influence any game. We are not there to determine any outcome. It is for the players to determine the outcome. We don't show up to the venue and be like, okay, your kit looks great, so we'll go in your favor. No, it doesn't go like that. So when the general conception of it's the referee's fault or it's the referee who did, no, it is not the referee. How this ties into Argentina's match, there is a general consensus within the public sphere that referee favors cause that benefit Messi, or when he was at Barcelona, when it's either El Clasico, whatever high-profile match, that once that referee is on and Messi, while he was at Barcelona, is playing, there will be calls, or the large amount of calls would be in his favor or in Barcelona's favor. Referees are humans as well, and yeah, referees are humans as well, and as much as that particular referee may have liked Messi as the player he is, or considers Messi the GOAT, that should not be the direction his calls are going towards. Because it's Messi, I'll give something that benefits Messi, because that puts his credibility at risk. That puts his decision-making up for critique. Should have Messi been shown a card for that blatant handball, yes. I've seen that as that's clear as day. There's nothing to not warrant a caution being issued there. I don't know how he didn't get it. I don't know why he didn't get it. But when you have those instances or those type of mistakes at that level, this is not the minor league. This is not just Sunday league. This is the World Cup. So even if you do make a mistake, it should not be something that is that glaring, that blatant, that obvious. Because now we're having these discussion spheres, the credibility of the referee. And at the end of the game, the referee's decisions should not be up for debate because referee's decisions should not impact the outcome of a match. It is up to the 22 players on the field to do that.
100%. Kenneth, so far, the quarterfinals, you've seen the games, Argentina, Netherlands, Croatia, Brazil, you've seen it all. The Argentina game drew a lot of heat in reference to the decisions that were in that game. What's your take, quickly?
Right. Can I remind everyone what I said last time before we go into the referee? What did I tell you guys about Argentina and Netherlands?
Hey, can you fill us in for those who were not on that show?
Yeah, sorry, you guys, you wasn't here.
You said Argentina players dive a lot or something like that.
No.
No.
So I said, remember I said that at the end of the game, right? You would look at a game and you go, Argentina's gone through, but you go, we don't know how they did it, but they've gone through. And that's what happened. This is what they do. That's what Argentina does. You know, I said it was going to happen. And yeah, I mean, we're calling for referees and stuff like that. But I was actually surprised that Argentina played well. I was expecting Netherlands to absolutely batter them, but for Argentina to go through, that was my expectation. So the fact that we're talking about referees and stuff is just because, Darren said, the Messi factor definitely plays has a huge effect, plays an impact, has an impact in the game. But yeah, referee wasn't great, but surprisingly, Argentina deserved to go through. Looking at it, I think everyone in this call will agree that Argentina definitely deserved to go through. They played the better football. Should have won the game in normal time. The stupid free kick that was given away in the last minute took it into injury time. But yeah, well deserved.
But Kay, quickly.
I didn't watch it live, to be honest, so I didn't see it. I saw the highlights. I heard a lot of people complain about the ref, but what they always say in football, when I used to play, they used to say, take the decision out of the referee's hands. You can't always do it. If you put the ball in the back of the net, the referee can't say, no, it's not a goal. So you got to take it into your own hands. And sometimes when people foul and do things, it's like the England goal yesterday. It happened in the corner of the French, the French half. The players got back in time to stop it, and then they started complaining. You could have stopped the goal, but people like to complain about refs. The ref did get a few things wrong, but he gave England 2 penalties, which in any game to get 2 penalties is hard. But Argentina just when you got a player like Messi, anything can happen. As opposed to Ronaldo not playing or starting, you need your best. It's like what Figo said. You can't expect to win or get far in those competitions without your best players. Some people would say you play better without a player like that, but he's the guy that will drag you through a game like Messi. So when you get to these stages, you need your best players on the pitch, and that's who's got the nerves, who can be calm under pressure, and that's what will get you through. So
Okay, right, Devin.
So I will say, in terms of the Argentina match, there were 2 calls that I thought the official got wrong blatantly. We already mentioned the Messi blatant handball. I call it his Maradona moment, because Maradona with the hand that got his
86. Yep.
This was, to me, that was Messi's moment. The second one, I don't remember the exact player who did it, the one who blasted the ball into the Netherlands bench and got away with it. To me, if you blast the ball into an opposing team's bench and they come out after that, if I'm on that bench and you do that, I don't care. I'm going after you. What happens if you knock out one of my teammates? What happens if you give him a concussion? Something like that. To me, it's completely uncalled for. That should have been a booking. I don't know how he got away with that.
David, was that Otamendi that did that? Because everyone was saying
I don't remember the player who did it. I just remember it was right after the foul, which I think he did get booked for the foul, but then the player turned around and blasted the ball in the bench, and I said,
would have been a second yellow and him being sent off.
That could potentially be a sending off offense. It could potentially. It should have been a booking no matter what. It could have been a sending off, in my opinion. But so it's above all else, it's just like the fact that we are talking more about the official than the match is something that I don't like.
Right. Vim.
Yeah.
Well, with this Argentina game and Netherlands, it was a good game. I won't lie. I mean, I'll give credit to Netherlands for coming back from 2-0 down. That set piece free kick was absolutely something you do on the training ground. Like no one saw that coming. It was just like, but it's just a deliberate handball. Any other player I know will be getting a yellow card straight. There's no way. There's just no way. But it's this things that change the outcome of games.
Unfortunately, that's a game I didn't watch. I listened to it on the radio. So, but yeah, it sounded quite eventful. But I guess Argentina are up to their usual tricks. You know, the dark arts that we've discussed in the past.
Bems, welcome to the show. We have Darren joining us today. He's an actual referee from Trinidad. You can see him. Bems is Houston Red Army, the controversial one. So, Bems, welcome.
All right, thanks, man. How's it going?
We all good. We're just talking about the Argentina-Netherlands game before we move on about the refereeing bad decisions on that game for that call. Do you have anything on that game?
I mean, it was refereed in the way that they wanted Argentina to go through Messi. They want Messi to go to the finals, man. So I mean, that's what I feel. But oh well, the game's over. Netherlands were beat. They went home. It's time to move on to the semifinals.
Right. So we move on from that. We go to Croatia, Brazil. A very good game. A lot of people thought Brazil had done enough to win in extra time, and here comes Croatia. And here comes penalties. And before you blink of an eye, it was done.
Tim, before we move, I want to comment on one more thing on the Argentina Netherlands game. Have you guys noticed that there's a trend going on in this World Cup? Like, if you look at all the teams, particularly the European teams that campaigned against FIFA hosting the World Cup or basically giving the World Cup to Qatar.
Everyone that boycott.
Huh?
Everyone that's made fuss about the politics of boycott.
They're literally throwing the book at them. First Germany. Yeah. Have you guys noticed decisions? If it's 50-50, it goes against you straight away. Yeah. Netherlands, same thing. England, same thing. Yeah. All the teams that actually came to play football and focused on football, FIFA were basically giving them all the 50-50. There's a trend going on. So I don't know if you guys have noticed.
So
someone brought that to my attention. Someone brought that to my attention.
I have noticed, actually.
On that note, I would actually like to hear the ref's opinion on that, the actual ref's opinion on that one.
Darren?
There is no political agenda in refereeing. There's no.
It's not police. I mean,
of course, he's going to defend.
When things go to VAR, you guys know.
Darren, you're on the whole seat.
He's going to defend his people, man. Of course.
Yeah.
If he's doing active rep,
there is no mandate in the 17 laws of the game that speaks to political biasness. So
you're sure that, right?
No, but he's talking about the law.
There's some corrupt ones, though, man.
He's talking.
The head of refereeing here, this guy. Everybody knows who's this guy.
Colina,
there's no mandate from Colina saying referees to involve themselves in the politics of the day. We are here for the 90 minutes 120 minutes, 130 minutes to do football. Anything else outside of that, whether it's a boxing match, whether it's a wrestling match, whether it's a shooting match, that is not our concern. We want 22 players to come onto the field. We want 22 players to come off the field. We do not care about the politics of the day. So statements like the players who was battling against FIFA and their political stance are receiving more calls, that could be a coincidence. And I could stretch it as that far, but to say the referees are mandated to give calls against the teams that have a problem with FIFA, no.
Can I comment on that? Can I comment? Yeah.
Okay. Follow rebuttal what Darren said.
Me or Ken?
Okay, you.
Yeah. You know the referee that gave the decision against Canada. You know he was suspended for corruption. The referee, I forgot his name. He's Zambian.
Yeah, he was already suspended for corruption. Is any court of law? Does any court of law has a ruling on that?
No,
but he's been suspended for corruption.
Yeah, and he was he's refereeing at a World Cup final.
Yes. No, that is again. No, FIFA has to make that decision of what referees they need to take.
This is what we're saying.
That's what we're saying.
And again, FIFA will not take a known criminal, a hardcore criminal. Right? There are certain criteria. There are certain criteria and certain standards of referees that need to go to the World Cup. Circumstantial, yes, but is there a FIFA who's banned from officiating the sport at the World Cup?
No, he's suspended. He wasn't banned because he's not been.
Thank you.
Yeah, but he's been suspended.
Yeah. He's been suspended. Has
so
he been banned from the sport? If you are suspended from going to the office, are you fired?
Hey, I just want to ask Darren one quick question. Darren, are you currently under duress?
I think he is slightly.
Like, is that Blatter there? Like, I need to see them. Just turn your camera real quick, man.
No, there's nobody behind me. I don't have a gun to my head.
Okay, Ken, you were going to say something.
I mean, in all fairness, in Darren's defense, yes, we all know the story of Jack Warner being Trini, but there's no relation between Jack Warner. So let's make that very clear. But what I like the most about this,
I know you're on a live show now, and I don't want to ask you is FIFA corrupt, yes or no, but I think we know the answer to that. We as viewers know the answer to that question, so I won't put you in that position. So right. Ken, you're about to say something before.
I was just going to say what Darren's is saying is absolutely right. Yeah, under normal circumstances, Darren's just being honest. I'm sure he's a decent, honest man, and he's basically giving us his decent, honest opinion, which is fine. However, there are forces behind the scenes. Yeah. You know, there are meetings that are going on behind the scenes. There are things that happen that we don't know. When we see it on the pitch, we see it like dodgy refereeing. You can tell that they've been briefed. Like when things go to VAR, look, if it's 50-50, these guys have been on us, let's do them. And that was evident. As soon as Germany went out of the World Cup, even Wenger said it. Wenger was like, there are teams that came to the World Cup and focused on football, and they're doing well, such as, he mentioned some teams. And then he went, there are teams that came for a political agenda, and they're not doing well. And Wenger works for the UEFA or something like that.
I think.
So what Darren's saying is right. As an honest person, that's what you do. But when you've been briefed and you've been given instructions like, look, if there's a situation, call it. If you're not sure, go to VAR, and then VAR will just do what they need to do regarding what FIFA briefed them. Yeah, that's it.
Right. Brazil, Croatia. Okay, what did we call? You called the Brazil to win, didn't you?
I thought Brazil were going to win the tournament, but
me too.
Brazil didn't take the chances. I watched the second half. I missed the first half because I was coming back from work. But from the highlights of the first half, Brazil had the chances to take it, and they didn't take the chances. Neymar scored injury time, and they thought that was it.
I thought it was that.
I think someone was on the left. I can't remember who it is, but the guy should have gone to the player, but he ran back in the straight line, and I just thought
Casemiro.
Yeah.
It was Casemiro, I think, who was in the center when that happened. But Casemiro was booked, so
Yeah,
he didn't want to take the player out and get sent off. If that's how I
yeah.
remember it, yeah.
It's like we said, if you don't take your chances at these stages, that's it. It's a wrap for you.
Right.
And I just think the what's it called, the starting 11. I don't know what the manager was thinking. He changed the team, and I thought I don't think he respected Croatia as much as he should have.
I think they kind of underestimated. Why would you underestimate a team that got to the final of the last World Cup?
No one was really talking about Croatia though before the
no one has. No, not really.
Well, the whole thing with that was that because everybody thought Croatia was too old, they aged out.
Yeah, they got 5 from the last World Cup.
That was what everybody's thinking was. So it was like, yeah, you made it then, but now it's the squad is too old. AKA, look what happened with Belgium, and that's what everybody thought Croatia was going to be like as well. However, Croatia, and I have to give so much credit to their goalkeeper.
That's
Their
it.
goalkeeper has been superb.
Because you got to look at the stats in that Brazil game.
Yeah,
Croatia had 1 shot on target and he scored it. Brazil had like
wow, man.
Brazil had 11 shots on target. And only scored 1 for.
Darren wants to say something. Oh, sorry, I saw your finger of the hand behind you. Sorry, sorry, it's the hand behind. I do apologize. Right, Joe, Brazil, Croatia. What happened there?
Man, I'm gonna say, yeah, definitely respect. Brazil definitely should have seen that game off, man. Had the chances, had the opportunity, just did not seal the deal. It's unfortunate. I had them winning the tournament as well. I had a Brazil-Germany final. And they just 15 Germany. What did they have? 15 minutes? It was 15 minutes, man. They just had to be focused for 15 minutes. And this, oh my God, this sport is the most devastating, heartbreaking. It is. I mean, I never feel for these guys, man, because
a whole nation can be devastated.
I felt bad for them because it's, in a way, this Brazil team kind of reminds me of the England team, where this is a golden generation of a bunch of this team is so stacked, and for them to not be able to pull it off at the end, it's unfortunate. I feel like I like to see the world. I like to see Brazil play.
I felt sorry for Neymar after that solo effort goal.
Yeah.
Right. Let me bring in Vimo. Vim. Brazil, Croatia. What was your prediction of that game? Hey,
well, yeah, I thought Brazil would win it. They've got so much talent in their squad. And a lot of them ply their trade in European football.
Yeah.
Which is definitely an advantage for them. I think they took their foot off the gas. They got that first goal, and I think they just became complacent, and they made a big mistake. I know Modric's quite old, 37 years old, but he still has a major influence in that team.
Right?
He makes it look so effortless. He just pings the ball around easily. I imagine myself being on the pitch and where I would pass that ball. He picks up passes that I don't even think about. It's just amazing. He's an absolute talent. And he's the driving force behind that team. I think Croatia probably will get to the final. I'm not sure if they'll win it this time, but yeah.
Can they get past the dodgy RGs? We'll see.
Yeah, well, depends who the ref is and if he's been incentivized. Let's say. Maybe they have an Argentina ref in disguise.
David, Brazil, Croatia.
So first off, because I know the topic today was about dodgy officiating, I think this was the only match where the official was not controversial, which I think Darren will say means he had a good game.
Okay.
With that being said, Brazil didn't take their chances. That Croatian keeper, as I said before, was absolutely phenomenal. And Croatia shocked all of us. I predicted that Brazil was going to win it.
Me too.
I have to admit it. I said Brazil had the most depth on paper.
Yep.
But, and I know I'm going to piss off all the Texas people in here, except for the Texans fans, when I say this, Brazil turned out to be the Dallas Cowboys of the World Cup. On paper, they should have dominated, and they were supposed to be done. They won it on paper, but when it came to time to execute, they did not do it.
Oh dear.
So I'm disappointed, but as a United fan, I'm happy that United players did not get hurt.
Not true. I thought they should have brought Fred in Anthony a bit earlier, but it is what it is.
Isn't Dalot injured?
That's what I heard.
Like
He is, yeah, he's injured. Yeah.
Okay. Brazil's no, actually let me go to Bems. Brazil's Croatia.
I mean, I predicted. Well, I knew the game was going to be tight. I knew that game was going to be tight, but I predicted Brazil to still come out and win because they obviously have the talent. They have the deeper squad. They're the favorites. They got everything going for them. Neymar's back playing. It's I mean, and in the moment Neymar scored that goal, I thought, okay, this is over.
Me too.
But then something in the back of my mind told me, man, you can't discredit Croatia, man. Croatia, you just can't write them off. You have to you just can't assume this is over. And then just right when we thought the game was over, and they go right back and score. It's typical Croatia, man. They never disappoint. They always find a way. That's experience. And a team like that, man, that keep doing it, I guess, World Cup after World Cup with that experience, man. And we talk about what's his name, Modric, man. That guy, man. I wish I could be 2% of the player that guy has been, man. He's a class of a midfielder, man. Class, like
at his age.
37, still doing it at that age because he's playing. He's the same age as Ronaldo, right? Yeah. He's the same age as Ronaldo, but
no, I think he's just slightly young because I think Ronaldo's 38, right?
But no, Ronaldo's
37.
38
in February. Ronaldo ain't 38 yet. Yeah, February. He's the same age as him and Ronaldo. They're probably just months apart, but the same age.
But
the guy is doing it.
He's still playing for.
Man.
Is he still a regular for Real Madrid? Like a regular?
Hell yeah, of course. He's still a starter.
Wow.
They extended his contract. Huh?
You look old as shit, though.
You gotta remember the games.
Mine look like you about 58.
Ken, where is Ken?
Old, yeah, but he's still doing it,
man.
Yeah.
While Ken is okay, Ken.
I'm here. Yes.
The Brazil Croatia game. What did you call?
Very disappointed. I mean, I think it's down to Brazil lost the game due to tactical stupidness. Not in the game, during the penalty shootouts. Like, your best player, penalty taker, should always go first.
That's what I always thought. Always to give the confidence to the team.
He wanted the glory of taking the winning penalty.
Yeah, but
that's a problem. That's a problem.
He didn't even get to take a penalty. And
Neymar didn't. Casemiro took the second and scored. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and they should. I would have taken Casemiro to start. He's one went like a misser.
Oh yeah, I think Casemiro is one of the best penalties, man. That guy just rammed that shit. Boom.
Eric Ten Hag take note of that penalty. That's all I'm gonna say.
Marquinhos has never taken a penalty before. Never.
He took the first one, right?
No, I think he took the last one.
No, I think he took the second one.
Was horrible.
The
first one was so bad.
Marquinhos was never taking a penalty. So why is he taking a penalty at the biggest game of his in the World Cup quarterfinal? You should not be taking a penalty. Your strikers should go first. So that was tactical naivety, and that's why Tite had to go. Brazil should have at least got to the semi-finals. They should have won it, to be honest. They've got the best team, best players in the tournament, most balanced team in terms of the defense, midfield, But I think they kind of lacked a clinical striker up front. I think that's where the Achilles heel was, but they should have still won it. Yeah, but penalties was a howler for them.
So yeah, I was gonna ask Darren, as a ref, when you watch games and like a World Cup now, which I know you're watching, and you see referees making bad call, what do you say? And the people around you, do they think, oh, what is your opinion? When you know it was a bad call, like bad call. How do you perceive it?
A bad call is a bad call, and you should point out a bad call. What we are trained not to do is dwell on bad calls. So, okay, it's a bad call, and okay, cool, it's a bad call, and it's a bad call. What is right is right, what is wrong. But you don't dwell on the mistake of the bad call, because the game is still going. The clock is still ticking, players are still playing. So when people come up to me and like, Darren, you know, what do you think about this call? Or was this the right call? Was this the wrong call? And I am like, well, it's a bad call. It's the wrong decision. And that's the end of that. I don't go on a tangent of the referee is the most incompetent individual on the field, and he should.
So do you have the referees? Do you have the referees called that in the brotherhood, right?
Well,
yeah,
yes, there is a brotherhood. There is a brotherhood.
Yeah.
You
guys are very decisive in games, man. You guys are very decisive in games, and there are games where you can clearly tell that the referee, the call the referee made was what made the difference in that game, and I don't think it's fair to be the one person that changes the future of some team's outcome just because of a bad call. It's not fair. It's not fair.
It's not fair. One and two. At the moment the bad decision is made, has the game stopped?
No, the game hasn't stopped, but it's
thank you. Just now. Thank you. So there is still time for the players to influence the outcome of the game.
Exactly.
But you know, a series of bad calls, right? A series of bad calls plays in the minds of the players, and then it changes the game in a different direction.
Right,
I don't care.
Right.
I mean, these players, they're all humans, right?
Yes.
You keep making a series, you make 3, 4 bad calls.
Well.
It changes the momentum of the game, and it changes the end point of the game.
Ben, so with that, everyone else, I was talking to my neighbor. We were talking about this the other day. He used to referee, and he said something to me that I never knew until he said it. Darren, you might know this. So everyone else to have a guess. How many decisions do you think a referee makes in a game on average?
Oh, that's a good question, man.
About 50.
50. Who else?
100.
I would say probably about
over 100.
100.
Yeah, 100. Closer around 100. Yeah, he has to be.
How many do you think? You're a ref, so you probably know the answer.
It is more is 100 is too much. That's way too much. You would go anywhere about a more realistic number should be anywhere between 40 to 80 decisions.
Okay, because I don't. This is what he said to me. I've not checked it. He said to me, on average, a referee makes 200 decisions a game, and I was like,
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
He said that to me, and he said, on average, you expect a referee. This is the English FA, so it might be different in different countries. He said, in England, you expect a referee to make at least 2 wrong decisions a game.
Yes,
whether they're
yes.
wrong decisions,
Expected, so it's kind of you are expected to make 2 wrong calls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But sometimes it might be like a foul throw. But if it's something big, then obviously everyone remembers that. You know, like when a player makes a mistake and they concede a goal, everyone remembers that. Whereas if you make a mistake and you win the ball back, no one remembers that. So I was like,
so you're right. You're right in that there is an allowance for mistakes.
Yeah.
There is an allowance for it. It is we are trained not to make mistakes. Yeah. But we are also trained not to make serious mistakes, not to make match-changing mistakes.
Oh man, y'all do make match-changing mistakes though. You guys do make match-changing mistakes. You do. You do. That's not
simple mistake.
Darren, as fans, we will always like that ref was a dodgy referee.
You make match-changing mistakes. You do.
But that's why you have rankings. That's why you have some refs that are the top and the ones that are the bottom. They can't all be at the top.
Yes, exactly. So a simple mistake may be like giving throwing the wrong direction. That's a simple mistake.
And that led to the goal that eliminates the other country from the wrong decision. Those kind of decisions.
No. Those ones, I don't really care much about because
exactly.
I mean, those ones I don't really care much. The ones that I really care much about are like the decisions, the big ones.
Yes,
are like
the
penalties.
The basketball one.
The penalties.
Thank you very much.
The FA Cup one, the basketball one, Middlesbrough. Them ones, yeah. Right, remember that one? Basketball.
You know the thing that I hated most about that call? They changed the rule that season for that. That's the call that makes me. I am still angry about that because it was such a blatant handball, but because he wasn't the one that scored it, they could not call it back, and the ref was bound by the rules. But I was so mad about that because it was such a blatant handball where he was out here, and then because he got the assist, not the goal. The ref couldn't change the call, but we all knew it was such an obvious handball.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I was so angry about that one.
I'm
so angry about that one. Yeah.
Okay, next game. Morocco, Portugal. A shock. This is a team that has not conceded a goal. They scored an own goal, I think, and no one has scored a goal against them. They eliminated Spain during the week on penalties. Now they're taking out Portugal and Ronaldo. This team looks like no one seems to be able to break them down. Can France beat them? I'm going to start with Joe. Morocco and Portugal. Is Morocco the team to go to the final now, or where are we going? Or is it just teams don't know how to break them down?
I have something to say about that one too.
I mean, man, if somebody like if you could have been able to check off the things that you needed to win the World Cup, right? Man, not letting people score on you would definitely be one of those things. So right now, if they can just continue to not let people score on them, I don't see any reason why they don't go to the final. Nobody can score on them. Like, bro, you gotta respect that, man. At the end of the day, if they can neutralize every game to turn into a penalty shootout, then it's a 50-50 chance, no matter what team they play. So I think they'll probably continue on. They're very structured. They're very disciplined, and we'll see. Wait, who's Morocco playing? The Morocco's
They're going to play France.
They're going to play France.
France still won't be.
I was going to say something, right? I was going to say,
good.
If England beat if England won against France, I almost want to bet Morocco will beat England in the semis.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I would have. It could have been a bit tricky. It could have been a bit tricky.
Let's be real.
I would have taken
that bet. Morocco has more heart than the national side.
Morocco would have beat England, man. Yeah, Morocco would have beat England with the way they play and with this England team. They buttle jumps steady.
Well, you also know why, because Southgate would have gotten the tactics wrong. He would have overthunk and gotten the tactics wrong, and Morocco would have just done their thing.
Exactly.
Vim,
carry on.
Let me bring in Vim. Vim, Morocco. What are you seeing about this team? This country that knocked out literally
a surprise team. It's a surprise. Do you remember that year that Greece won it?
They won the Euro
2004.
Yeah. So this is like another story in the making of the unknown team coming to the fore.
But this is
I think they could go all the way. I mean, if you've got a solid defense and you don't let in goals, and then you snatch a goal at the end or throughout the game, then you could potentially go and win it. They're a solid unit. I don't know what this coach has done, but he's only been in managing that team for 3 months.
Yeah, since
because
August.
the other one was too argumentative or something. So I don't know what they've done, but it's working. But isn't the main guy injured now? What's his name? Amrabat or something like that? Isn't he injured?
I'm not sure anymore.
Who's that main guy in midfield that's everywhere on the pitch?
Ziyech?
Not Ziyech. Amrabat or something like that. The midfielder that's all over the pitch.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Apparently he's injured and he's one of the main guys. I'm not sure about Hakimi as well. He may also be injured. So
no.
Ziyech. Hakimi and
that the guy
Amrabat.
from Chelsea, right? Ziyech is the guy from Chelsea.
Yeah, he is.
Ziyech is the winger, yeah.
Ken, Morocco.
If they have this many injuries, then there's a problem.
Where are we going with Morocco? They're taking out literally all the big guns. so far.
Very, very, very unpredictable team. I can't call that that game. That France-Morocco is and you can't. I don't think anyone can call it because of how because Morocco remind me a bit like Arsenal. You know,
1-0 to the Arsenal. Just go and shut down the shop.
Yeah, defenders.
The old Arsenal.
Attack. Yeah. Well. Let's say Arteta's Arsenal when it's good, when they're playing well. Defenders a unit, attackers a unit. As soon as they lose the ball, everyone drops back, including the striker. There's no, even Ziyech, there's no superstar mentality or you do that. I'm here to score goals. Everyone does. Everyone works as a team. And I think that's why they've got this far. They've been fortunate as well. They've rode their luck. But I think the France game is just too hard to call because I could just see them parking the bus. And if it goes to penalty, they've got a fantastic goalkeeper when it comes to penalty, savings and penalty save. Wow. He's amazing.
Can he don't sit on the fence, yeah?
we will come to the predictions. No one's going to sit on the fence. Morocco.
I'm going to go for Morocco. I want Morocco to win because France knocked out England. And sorry, Matt, if you want to watch this later.
Bias already.
yeah. Sorry, Matt, if you're watching, but bye, France. I hope Morocco wins.
Okay, Ben, Morocco. Where are we with Morocco?
I mean, just like everyone said, man, they're a very good team. Like they defend as a unit. They attack as a unit. They play well. I mean, you could even if you watch them during the counters, man, their counters are very good too. Well coached team, well organized. As they say here in the States, defense wins championships. I don't know if you can directly apply that to football, but I almost want to say you can if you can defend and just keep a clean sheet. Then I don't see why you can't win the World Cup. You see what I'm saying? You play as a unit, and it's simple. If you keep a clean sheet, you have a chance on winning. If you keep a clean sheet and you can nick a goal, you win. As simple as that. So
wasn't that Fergie's philosophy in the beginning? Never concede a goal and then try and nick a goal if it's a really tight game.
Yeah, if it's really tight.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. Just keep a clean sheet and then try and nick a goal. Because if you do that every single game, you will win whatever you want to win. So I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with this Morocco team.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I've not watched Morocco much, but they seem like a solid unit. Whenever you watch them North African teams in the AFCON, they're always they're more disciplined teams. So I'm not surprised at Morocco. When it comes to Morocco and France, there's a lot of history between them with the war that went on. There's a lot of French Moroccans. There's a lot of it'd be interesting to watch it in France. Like that would have been for me, it's about who keeps their cool because there's going to be a lot of emotion in that game, and you need a strong referee. Sorry to bring it back to the refs, but it's going to be a tight game, and I can't see Morocco winning it. Like we said with the World Cup, there's only 8 teams that have ever won the World Cup since 1930. So I can't see Morocco being the 9th. I just don't see it. With the powers that be, it's going to be one of the ones.
The thing is, didn't
Darrens in them?
Didn't France colonize Morocco? So there's a bit of history there, right?
They did, yes, they did.
No, but before
that's an extra incentive, guys. That's an extra incentive.
But that's what I'm saying. Because Morocco just play football and don't overthink.
It's basically like Nigeria playing England. It's like a derby, right?
Yeah, because of colonization.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a local derby. So Morocco will be on it. It'll be interesting. But from what we've seen in this World Cup, you can't call this type of game. You just can't. Can't call it.
Anyone.
Let me ask Darren. Darren, what country have we been supporting this World Cup?
Well, I've never been a national supporter. After Korea, Japan, when France left in the group stage, that was it. I am not supporting no national teams for nothing. So coming into this World Cup, I had a slight leaning to England. at least making the final, because I would like to think that they learned over the past few years how to get to a final.
Ben, stop laughing.
At least get to the final. So,
can someone mute Ben's, please?
So I had a leaning of England making the final, but as the World Cup started, I wanted Brazil to win it.
Right.
All right.
And now both countries you did lean to and did think above out. Anyone else you got looking at now, or you're just like
France is going to do it. France is going to do it. France is going all the way.
We'll get to that one. Okay.
How they're gonna get past Morocco? Yes, defense wins championships, but all I need to do is just score one more than you.
True. That's true. That's
and I think and I think with the firepower France has, that's all they're going to do.
I think so. It's going to be a tight game.
It's going to be a
tight game. It's definitely going to be tight.
I don't think Morocco is going to be able to shut down.
France is going to outgun Morocco. France is going to outgun Morocco.
Right. Yeah. Let's go to the game that we all saw last night. That's playing behind.
Hold on.
Screen.
You skipped my opinion.
Sorry, brother.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this.
Devin, have the floor, please.
So, two big things about this one. First thing, I think this Moroccan side would have been Jose Mourinho's dream side.
Yeah, kind of,
Yeah.
Park the bus to get one goal and fight for the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Jose
Mourinho would love these guys. Yeah, that's true.
Second thing, this was something that I was taught by my collegiate track coach. Hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard.
Okay.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Wow.
That's a good one.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
That's a good one.
This Moroccan side, I don't know what that coach has instilled in them.
In 3 months?
Because it's like, I mean, how many superstars are truly on that team?
Ziyech and
Ziyech is not a superstar,
Hakimi.
Man.
I mean, literally
my point being is like you don't really have like a true superstar on that side.
They're not a true superstar.
Yeah, because they work together as a team and they work so hard together. They're beating teams that they should have no reason to beat them. On paper, they should have no chance. But all I thought about and watching them play is what my track coach taught me, and I'm like, wow, he was actually right.
Maybe that's what the Moroccan coach is teaching these players.
With that being said, this semifinal is not going to be an easy semifinal for France at all.
No, it won't.
So if I'm Deschamps, I would be having that mindset going into that. If you think it's just gonna be a walk in the park with them,
he knows. No, I don't know.
This Moroccan side is ready to leave everything out there, and it's not going to be a pretty win if France wins it. Because Morocco, all they need is one goal, and they will shut down shop, and they will do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If Morocco's
with that being said, France's firepower is lethal. It's incredible. England found that out because they focused on two main players, and guess who scored the first goal? Somebody they didn't think would. So France is stacked, but it is not going to be an easy semifinal for them at all. Morocco will make them work for it. And if I am a betting man, do not be surprised if the two underdogs make the final.
Croatia, Morocco?
Correct.
Ooh, that would be a sexy final right there, man. That'd be real nice.
That would be something. That would be something.
That would be boring. That would be boring.
But you know what? It's what I mean. It's gonna be boring though. It'll be nice. It'll be boring. It will be boring.
For the business of football, that's what the profits are. How could you market that match?
You can't
market that.
Darren is people. You see what he's saying? You see how you see what he's saying? Yeah, that. You know that implies something, right? That implies okay.
That doesn't imply anything.
We gotta get the good teams in the final.
Anything. You know, that does not imply anything. As a consumer of this sport.
Who
got wrong. He's got one more left before the end of the pod.
Who is FIFA's? Quick question, guys. Who is FIFA's most decorated player in terms of awards and so on?
Messi.
Messi in terms of Ballon d'Or. Messi.
It's written for Argentina to get to the final.
I think it's Messi, right?
He is
It is
Messi.
Messi.
Ballon, if you're talking Ballon d'Ors, it would be Messi.
Messi's the golden child of the world.
Yeah.
He's
That's
the one
why
that
he gets,
wrote
in my
right
opinion,
back
that's
then.
why he gets away with
He
murder.
did not do himself any favors
he's-
for his post-match antics after the last match, though.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but
Devin, I wanted to talk on that, but when that space comes up, I'll speak up.
Okay, cool. England and France. And Vim, where did it go wrong, mate?
Where did it go wrong?
Football was supposed to come home, but England are coming home and not football going home.
Because Oli is still at the wheel.
No more.
Oli's at the wheel.
Vems, yellow
Oli
card,
Southgate.
thank you.
Oli's at the wheel.
Did you guys see this commercial that Kane made before the tournament? Did you guys see this commercial?
I only saw
can't
that
wait.
yesterday, and that
Yeah.
it
It's
was-
like a hoodoo, isn't it? It's like a hoodoo.
Bro,
It's like some type of curse or something.
yeah. I mean the fact that he kicked the same exact ball, the same exact ball. Yeah, come on, man.
Joe, do you reckon he was practicing that too much? That when he was taking the real penalty kick, it was like muscle memory to hit it over the post.
All I know is he's waking up this
That's
morning
messed up,
thinking,
Oh, man, this is
should not have done that video. Like this
This
is
is
not
hilarious.
something. This shit is real, man. This shit is
Yeah.
real. You know, curses exist, man. This shit is like it's
This is
politics
funny.
again. After this dude, your captain's over there making commercials, making fun. Like you tend to.
Yeah, it's
Missing-
funny,
missing
but
it.
it turned out to be reality, right?
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. So,
Look at
Vim,
this.
where did it go wrong yesterday? Bems, I'm coming to you. Don't worry. I know
Okay,
you have
no
a lot
problem.
to say because we were sitting in the same pub yesterday.
So the problem for me is, I mean, the squad is brilliant. You know, and I've said that a few times before. The problem is the manager for me, because he is just like Oli. He dithers and he delays and he's apprehensive. He doesn't make changes during the game. He can't react quickly. It's like he almost doesn't know what to do. When the team is under the cosh, he doesn't make the right changes. He doesn't make them quick enough. You know, you've got to turn this game around within 90 minutes, and he dithers too much, like Oli used to do. You know, when a change is required in the 55th minute, he makes it the 73rd minute, like Oli used to do. So that's the problem. I don't think he understands the game well enough tactically to make changes that are going to affect the game. And this is where I think we need a better coach, a coach who has won things, a coach who's ruthless. Gareth Southgate is a nice guy, as was Oli. But, you know, nice guys don't always win, especially in football. And because, you know, he's done well in terms of bringing the team together. You know, he'll be a good well-being coach, I think. Maybe he should be a well-being coach in his next job. But as a tactical coach, to go over that final line, to win, to be ruthless, to do whatever it takes to get a title, he lacks that. You know, you've got to have someone like Mourinho who will, you know, pull like every trick in the book to try and get that win. There's other coaches like that who are ruthless.
Mute the phone, please. Okay, hello, noise.
So yeah,
I think probably kids in the background or something.
he's just not ruthless enough, and that's what we need to get this team to win something.
So you think are you saying Southgate should step down now?
Yeah, he can stick around, but, you know, be Mr. Nice Guy, you know, put his arm around everyone. You know, for well-being, he's okay, but he's not the man to lead this team and to take us over the line.
Well-being.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
you know, he's like that, you know, like the counselor type of person. Oh yeah, you know, I'll look after you. He keeps everyone happy. You can see the squad is happy. But you know, when you need to bring on the big guns,
Just like Ole.
just like Ole, we need to bring on the big guns now. You know, when under pressure, you need to change it straight away. But he doesn't know what to do, and he does go to Steve Holland a lot. You see him, they chatting away. What shall I do? What shall I do? You know, it's just like Ole all over again.
Did one question I'm gonna ask you, Vim? Did France deserve to win that game?
I mean, look, these guys are real battlers, yeah. I think we could have beaten them. I think they had a slightly weakened team. Yes, they've got good firepower. They've got strong defense. They're a little bit rough. I saw this, you know, the tackles were spicy. They did rough up a lot of our players. You saw some of the challenges that they made, and I think they got away with a lot of fouls. And I think that's where the referee unfortunately was lacking.
Right.
I don't think he picked up on a lot of the fouls. You saw the way he took out Mount in the penalty box at the very end.
Yeah.
That's not a barge. You saw the way, and this just reminds me of when when Saka was taken out against Italy. Do you remember when Chiellini just hooked him up?
Yeah.
And they didn't give a free kick. And it's the same again. We're getting
short end on the straw.
We don't have big strong players up front. We've got small, technical, skinny players, and they're out-muscled. And that's
okay. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Wagwan.
I'm not too bad. You say, how are you?
Pretty good.
Right. We have the UK-US crew here. So, Jeff, welcome. We just talk about the England-France game now. We've talked about other quarterfinal games. You watched the England-France yesterday?
I did. I got to tell you, I was a bit disappointed.
Where did England get it wrong, or were France that much better than England? Apart from before, say the penalty wasn't awarded, were England going to score other than that in open play?
Listen, obviously I was supporting England, but the best team did win. As far as I'm concerned, the best team on the day, they were better. Even if it went to extra time, I don't think I personally would have fancied it. And if it went to penalties, I definitely wouldn't have fancied it.
Okay, I hear you. It saved us a further heartache than going into all that. I hear you, bro. I wasn't confident. If it had gone to penalties, I wouldn't have been confident. This wasn't the best French team we've ever played, but this was a beatable French team without Benzema, without Pogba, and still couldn't get away around it. But it is what it is.
No Benzema, no Kante, and no Pogba.
No Pogba.
You can't beat them without them three. It's look. They're a fantastic team. There's nothing we could have done about it. We played well. We did good.
No, England played well. Right. Yeah. Let me go to Devin. England, France. Where did it go wrong there, mate?
Where it went wrong was England didn't finish their chances when they had them. It's as simple as that. I thought it was, to me, I liken that game to a chess match, honest to God. From a tactic perspective, I think it was pretty even up to a certain point.
Yeah,
where I think the match was lost was in the changes. And Vim, I think, hit the nail on the head. Where Southgate is so sold on that starting 11, and he's very hesitant to change it. And where it's very similar to what Ole did, where he had his favorites. I don't think for example, you bring in Marcus Rashford right at the end, who is your leading goal scorer, and you don't give him enough time to get into the game, figure out what's going on, figure out when he's going to get his chance, anything like that. Jack Grealish should have been brought on.
I couldn't understand that one, mate.
So he's the one to get you to the mountain, but not over the top.
Right.
And I think that would be the best way to.
So you think England needs to get another manager who could take them over them?
But with that being said, who is the one to replace him? Because it's very easy to say you need a new manager, but I don't like to say that unless I have a solution in place. To me, I was actually thinking Potter. Graham Potter would have been the one.
Well, he's gonna be out of
I said that up until he took the
Pochettino.
Who did you say? Harry Potter?
Up until
no,
Harry Potter.
Stop.
Chelsea.
Let me go. That was my thinking before he took the Chelsea job. But now we see it seems like the same problem where it's so now too hesitant to make the changes because I don't know if the pressure is on too much. Because you look at what he did at Brighton, he was making all risky changes.
Yeah. But Chelsea's more pressure, new owners. So,
but like I said, this was a guy that I thought would have been the replacement. But he took the Chelsea job, but he's not doing himself any favors that are now in that role.
He might not last.
So now I'm sitting here and I'm rattling my head. Who would be the one to replace him? And until I can think of a name to replace it right now, you kind of just keep going as it is, which is unfortunate because you'll do well, but you won't win.
Right.
I think he's on a losing streak. You know, if we keep him for the Euros, I don't think we're going to win anything under him.
But who?
You know,
So who do you have? What? Give me a name. Give me a name.
I would go with the Newcastle manager.
He was.
So, but why would he want to leave Newcastle right now?
Pochettino would do a better job than.
Why would he want to leave Newcastle right now? He's got it made there right now.
That's true, and more money coming in to get better players. Right.
Forget these England managers, man. Forget England managers, man. Go for foreigner.
We already won with Capello. Anyway.
Okay. How many of them have you gone with?
Maybe we should take the.
You haven't gone with that many, have you?
Maybe we should take the Moroccan manager.
We tried Capello and it didn't work out.
Either the Moroccan or the Saudi manager.
Ten Hag.
Pochettino, Pochettino. Pochettino is very familiar with these English players.
I mean, the Saudi manager, I think also boosted his profile.
He's
Who's the Saudi manager?
Tim, you have
he's a French
Herve Renard.
Okay.
Tim, you have to understand, man. This is the one thing that's just it's just weird when it comes to England. Like nobody would just fill up their team with English players, right? We're constantly searching and scouring the planet for the best people, the best right backs, the best goalkeepers. Why doesn't England do that for the manager spot where they just have to force feed an Englishman to do a job that he's not rated to do? And that's exactly
I see your point. I really agree with you. I see.
What a grand.
It's been too long, bro. It's been too long. It's been too many years since you guys have won a major trophy. If you guys need to grab somebody from America, even, which that would never happen.
Not gonna happen.
Never. Happen.
No way.
I feel like that stifles you guys because unfortunately, it's either you do that or you work on your managers. Somehow, some way, for some reason, England is not generating or creating quality, world-class managers. And either that changes, or you guys change your settings when it comes to picking managers. That's how I feel.
The other thing you could do, the other thing you could do is you could have a consortium of managers. It doesn't have to be just the one manager. So you could have one manager like Gareth who's good with the players and well-being and stuff like that. And you get someone who's very tactical, someone who understands the international scene. Maybe 2 or 3 managers. I don't know if that's allowed.
I don't know if that could work.
Three brains instead of one.
I would say get Poch, man. Poch do a much better job than the Southgate. I don't know where Southgate got his credentials from. I don't know if he bought them or if he was just.
So Southgate, if I remember right, Southgate was very good with the under 21 sides. He won a lot with them, so he knew this squad from young. Yeah. And so that's where it came in, where
elevated them to the next level.
Yes. And so, remember that
was a stupid decision.
And then he had a good World Cup. So it's like, well, 2018 World Cup. Well, we were like, okay, this team's got potential. Let's see what happens. You get them to the final of the Euros. You're thinking, all right, let's see what happens. I still think was after the 3rd minute after Luke Shaw scored in the Euro final was the biggest mistake of his career, and that should have been a red flag right there. You got to change it, and he didn't do it again now. So. Yeah,
the guy has zero tactics.
He is the one to lead you to the hill, but not over it.
Okay.
I would even say Ole is even better tactic. He has better tactics than Southgate.
I won't even go.
Does Ole have any tactics?
Right, let's quickly move on.
I'm not serious. Southgate is trash.
That guy is trash.
I bet you I'll do a better job than Southgate. I'm quite confident. Seriously.
Well, Bems, it's a £5 million job. You should apply for it.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll go apply. They'll take me.
Pounds, which is about $7.5 million.
Man, give me 10% of that. I'll take the job.
Hold on, Ben. Jeff, you're saying something.
Lads, look at Morocco at the moment. I'll tell you, from my point of view, the difference between like a nation like Morocco, you saw Japan, you saw Saudi, they picked up some points. All right, fine. The likes of Saudi Arabia and a couple of other Asian countries, they did all right. Senegal, Ghana picked up a couple of points. They dropped off. But the difference between you look at like Turkey in 2008, you look at Greece in 2004, you're looking at obviously Morocco at the moment. What's the biggest difference, and a very obvious one, between their team and England's fucking team? I'll tell you the difference.
Hard work.
Nah. Balls. In this country, what we've got this, we're expecting to win. We're going in there with this kind of like
entitlement.
We don't
Entitlement.
100%.
Entitlement, don't want to work hard. That's what it
like
is.
that, man.
With
100%. I was going to say that.
we can win.
So yeah, well done.
I like Jeff, man.
Jeff,
I like
that's
Jeff.
a very valid point. They go into tournaments believing we should be winning it. We should be. We can, but they're not doing enough to like. Can you actually win?
Not even we should be. It's coming home.
Put the passion into it. They don't put the hard work into it.
Nah, this coming home rubbish. This coming rubbish.
So what did I say before about hard work and talent? That's all it is. It goes again between hard work and talent.
That it's coming home. This is bad.
Hold on, guys. Let me go to K.
The tournaments where you don't sing is coming home. That's the time you have a chance. And you keep singing that it's coming home. Shit, it ain't happening.
Ben, don't start.
They didn't play that much in the UK this time.
They didn't sing "We're Coming Home" this time because it's too much.
Nah, Tim, you were singing it.
No, they did.
You were singing it.
No, but Ken and Kay, did you hear that song much in the UK?
Nah.
I didn't hear it. Yeah.
I heard it from Tim.
Singing "It's Coming Home."
Tim was singing it.
I think it would have happened if they beat France. If they beat France, I think they would have done some.
Oh yeah, it would have been. Oh, it's coming home would have been on
that shit.
Oh yeah.
Listen, they got no passion in this country. England.
Okay, let's stick back on course. Kay, England, France.
Yeah, it's just, you know what? It's football, isn't it? It's a game of momentum. When you're on top, you got to take your chances. France started well. I thought they'd beat England anyway. Like I said, everyone's focusing on Mbappe. I said, you've got Dembele and Giroud. And I said, Giroud's the one that they need to be careful of. And who scored the winning goal. But
told you so.
The chances were Kane had two very good chances. He just doesn't have the legs. He got in, he rolled Upamecano, I think it was, twice.
Yeah.
Just didn't have the legs. And the game was crying out for pace and someone who could run in behind. Because you had
Rashford.
Saka was giving them problems, but you needed someone else on the other side. And
they kept on going through Saka.
The game was crying out for Grealish. The game was crying out for Grealish the whole time.
He was a threat. So once they got to 1-1, England came out good in the second half. That's when the momentum was with them. And an elite manager would be proactive instead of reactive. Southgate made the changes once he conceded. A proactive manager would know that we've got the momentum. Henderson, you don't need him on. He's not going to help you get a goal. He was there to double up, stop people from scoring. Put on Rashford. He scored 3 goals. He's confident. He'll run in behind. Sterling came on. Sterling's the second highest goal scorer in that squad, but he's been at home. He's not. He's not in it.
He's been away for 5 days.
Mentality
he's been away.
Not there.
Bro, it didn't make sense. Bringing on Mount. I know people said he got the penalty. Mount doesn't score goals for England.
No,
bringing him on didn't make sense. It's almost like he brought Mount on to stop them scoring, and this is what Southgate does. He's trying to stop them more than take it to them. And I remember Southgate saying
it. That is a very good point. He's more reactive than being proactive. Instead of finding players to win the game, he's trying to stop the opposition from scoring, then try and nick a goal. And that's
he was a defender.
There you go.
He was a defender.
As a player, he was a defender.
Yeah,
he's always been a defender. Yeah,
the team is a reflection of the manager. Look at Simeone, how Atletico play. The player Simeone used to play because he projects. He was
attack minded.
Yeah.
So you have a defensive player managing a team. It's going to naturally become defensive, too defensive.
Because they're building the team in their way of thinking.
With Southgate, he said it in 2018. What did he say? He said, what was it? He said the record against the top teams in competitive games is non-existent. So he knows when we play elite teams, we are not good. And this is why I always said to people, all the teams we've played, we're expected to beat. When you come up against, last how many games that we've come up against people? Croatia, weren't expected to beat us. Italy, not expected to beat us. France, not expected to beat us. The only team that England have beat that they weren't expected to beat was Germany. And that's when we battered Germany. And that was like a one-off. But for me, it's a mentality thing. Everyone's saying this is the best squad. I don't think it's that great, to be honest. I think it's
Kay, tell me one thing, right? Kay, one second. The teams that we're not expected to beat, do you think at least that the coach should have some belief that they can beat them, and then it starts to filter down through the
This
players?
is my thing, Ben. I don't think Southgate believes he can beat them.
Well, this
I
is the
think he's
problem.
saying-
If he
he's
doesn't
saying
believe it,
I don't think
yeah.
he believes it.
No,
You
he
see
doesn't.
That by the way he sets up.
yeah. And so
Like,
if he doesn't believe that, if he doesn't believe he can beat a team, then it's going to filter through the players.
Exactly. You're bringing on Rashford at 86
Yeah.
minutes. What do you want him to do at 86 minutes?
A Grealish, you bring on
You bring
Grealish
on
for 1
Grealish.
minute or
Yeah.
20 seconds.
No,
I mean,
that
how
was just
stupid is that?
That was
Reminds me of
ridiculous.
Oli in
But
What
for
was
that
Grealish
reason
supposed to do?
alone, he should resign. And he underused Grealish in the Italy final.
But it goes alongside where you have this much talent, and so it's like you seem to have this sense of entitlement. Oh, because we are who we are, who we have on our team, we should win. The other team says no. You may be more talented. We'll just work harder than you.
Yeah, but it's like going to a gunfight with only
with that being
couple of-
said, all the other manager has to do is just win the tactics game, because
Right.
Southgate is not good when it comes to making changes. Now, when you look at lineups and how to set up, he has that. Everybody knows that it's good at that. But when you make the changes and you got to decide it there, that's
It's
where he's going to earn
easy.
his money.
He
And that's
doesn't
where
know.
he's not. And
It's
that's where he's
easy
not
putting
earning
out
his
an English lineup.
Yeah, but he doesn't. I
easy.
don't think he knows what to do.
It's easy.
And again, it's the problem with him. The same with Ole, where it goes with when it comes time to make the changes. Okay, if I do this, this will happen. This will happen. Well, no, I don't want to do it because I trust in my starting side. I know that side. I don't, and it also sends a message to your reserves and your substitutes that I don't trust you enough to come on. And
Exactly my point.
But what if he doesn't know what to do during the game? So let's say we're being hounded.
He doesn't know
We're
what
being
to do
hounded
during
through the
game.
middle. What is he? He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to
we
deploy
learned
his
that.
players.
We learned that in the Euro final.
Yeah.
Before that, you know when he was the Middlesbrough manager, he had less than 30% win ratio. He got Middlesbrough relegated.
Wow.
This is a manager that's not. What is he won? He's not won.
Nothing.
How the hell did he get the job?
Because
And
he
he-
was the best English candidate available.
And he keeps
He was
How
just
the
And he
hell
keeps-
did he get the job?
picking Harry Maguire.
Right.
Well,
Right,
to be
let me
fair,
go
to be
to-
fair,
let me go
Maguire
to-
is
let me
a
go
big
to-
player for
let me
England
go to
versus
Ben.
United.
Well,
So to be fair, Maguire is great for England usually.
Okay.
Right.
I
Let me
mean,
go
he
to
should
Ben,
have
then I go to
defended
Ben, then I go to
that.
Darren. All right, Ben.
Okay.
England, France.
So-
we sat together
Yeah.
quickly.
So Tim, we both watched the match. We were saying, as in Southgate's got to make a change. Got to make a change. Got to make a change. Just like what Kay said, whatever Saka was doing a good job on the right side, in my opinion. He was getting fouled left, right, and center. That means he's doing something. What needed to happen was have an equal someone doing the same thing on the
Foden on the
left
other side.
Yeah, because Foden wasn't really doing anything.
No.
Take Foden out, bring in Grealish, give Grealish, let Grealish basically do what
at them.
Saka is doing. Yeah, just run at these guys, which is what Saka was doing. That's why Saka was getting fouled left, right, center. And then Henderson didn't need to be in that game. Take Henderson out. Like it was clear the changes that needed to happen, and those changes need to happen like at latest
65.
beginning of the second half. Beginning of the second half, those changes should have made.
Did you notice?
Yeah.
Did you notice, Bims, as well? So we didn't equalize. What was it on the 93rd? Sorry, 83rd minute. So at that point, he should have made a change. But what he did, he waited until there were 2 minutes left to then go 3 at the back, and then bring on Grealish.
Which was just ridiculous.
That is why.
2 minutes.
So trying to force an extra time.
That is why he's
But
stupid. And then another thing that
He
I
took
saw.
that long to make a change.
He does it all the time. And then another thing that I saw that Southgate did. I don't know if you guys noticed this. The tactics, he was almost kind of playing 3 at the back, if you noticed throughout the game, because he told because Walker was tucked in, right? Walker wasn't really getting forward much. It was literally
to keep Mbappe.
Walker. Exactly, it was literally Walker, Stones, and Maguire. Maguire was like the left center. What was like the left center back, right? And then Walker was like the right center back, and then Stones was right in the middle. So you don't even have that many people going forward. He isn't at all. Yeah, I understand he was trying to account for Mbappe, but when you're putting too much emphasis on Mbappe, you miss people like Giroud. You miss what's the name on the other side?
Dembele.
Yeah. You missed Dembele. It was a total sham. The guy was. I was like, come on. If you ask me, right, England should have won that game.
Yeah.
England should have won that game. Isn't France were weak in certain areas? Even though England should have won that game, the best team won that game because even England didn't create enough chances to even score, in my opinion. And that comes from the coach. And then obviously when they got the penalty, Harry Kane, he missed it. I mean, Harry Kane should be scoring that. But I think even if he scores that, I think England still go out because they still don't, like I always said, the reason why England won't go far is because of Southgate. And it's clear. It's the guy needs to go. So it's sad. I felt real bad for England because even though I give England a lot of what do you call it? I just make fun of you guys, but I really want England to go far. Like the banters, I do it a lot, but I really want England to go far.
I hear you, bro.
Because I like.
Let me bring in Ken quickly. Sad. Ken, you and Matt did say France were going to go through. I think I'm right.
Yeah. Correct.
You did say France were going to go through. So at 1-1, did anything change during the game, or you still believe France were going to win?
No, I still knew France was going to win. England's problem, I know everyone's saying change the manager. I think you can bring any manager and you still get the same, if not the same result, but they'll get to a final and choke. I think.
Wow, that's a bit harsh.
The guy that says, what is it?
It's a bit harsh.
No, I don't think it's a manager. How many managers we've had? England has, we've had the best managers in the world. Capello, Ericsson. These are top class managers. Capello, Ericsson, you name it.
Capello was a disaster. He should never have been a manager. He was an absolute disaster. He couldn't speak to the players. He couldn't even speak English.
It doesn't matter.
He was just. It does matter.
I mean,
you can't speak to your players. How can you communicate anything? How can you tell them what to do?
The Saudi manager, can he speak Arabic?
No, he's got a translator.
There you go.
How far did they go?
Capello was a disaster. You must remember, the players didn't even connect with him.
Okay, let's
the players did not connect.
Ericsson, I'm sorry. Yes, Sven-Göran Eriksson. What happened to him? Was he? Yeah, couldn't he speak English as well?
He wasn't.
No. He got distracted with Ulrika. That's what took him off his game.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's not go there. That's
a distraction.
I think they win a trophy. With this team, win it.
For me, I don't think it's a manager thing. I think it's a mentality issue. It's a big mentality
That's
issue.
Why you need a leader who can help you overcome it.
Choke under pressure.
Yeah, they choke under pressure. They need to be, the first thing England needs is humility. To be humble. Understand that you're not good enough and go into tournaments with the mindset of, let's see how far we get. We're going there to try and do our best. Ban that "It's Coming Home" song. It's never going to come home.
Mate.
That's a bit harsh, mate. Bloody hell. He said ban the song.
Because we all go into tournaments thinking it's coming home. It's not going to come. It's a mentality. Yeah. So let's get that straight. The second thing they need to do.
That's a bit harsh, Ken. But I like your honesty, but it's what it is.
Maybe they should change the words of that song. We're going home.
Ken,
or something like that.
Ken was
no, don't start. Joe.
What's up?
England, France, where are we?
I mean, I said it before, Southgate is the weakest link on that team. I think any manager from the top 6 teams in the Premier League wins that game. Goes further.
Ooh.
Pep. Ooh. Klopp.
Ten Hag could do it.
Oh yeah, Ten Hag goes further.
Yeah,
Ten Hag will do better.
Conte.
You're right. You might have a point there.
Yeah,
the only
Conte
person
could
that
do it.
might not is what's his name?
Oh yeah, Conte does a better job. Conte is tactical.
The only person that might not do is West Ham manager.
Moyes.
Moyes.
That's
Moyes.
Yeah,
Not
Moyes. Moyes about it, but
yeah.
It's going to be the same story. I still believe in England to be able to be successful. They've got everything, and the only thing, one good thing you have to look forward to is that
they really have everything. let's ask ourselves: are we overrating these players, or
I don't think.
No. I don't think the
good.
players are
So
overrated.
let
players
Joe
are good.
finish.
the
Are
media.
England
It's
players
the media.
really
The media
good
is a big
enough?
problem
Are they
too.
good enough?
Because
When you
the
go
media-
for that team man to man, are they good enough to win
Yeah.
a World
Yes,
Cup?
these
Yes,
are the
they
same
are. They
players.
are. They are.
no,
Like,
You've
the
got to
media-
get
will
rid
be
of that
pumping
negative
up this-
mindset.
no. Who's the number 10?
This coming home shit.
Look at
This media.
Get the song.
Let
Forget
Joe
the song.
finish. Let Joe finish. Joe finish.
Look at Griezmann yesterday. England they don't have a Griezmann. They don't have a number 10 that can pull out something. They don't have a Modric. They don't have a Griezmann. They don't have players like that.
No, they do, but he's not used properly.
Yeah,
Who's the-
Foden.
They're right,
Foden.
Devin. They have, but they're not using.
No,
That.
no,
So it
Foden.
comes down to
Nah, but you-
tactics.
nah,
No,
but you
and
don't need a
you want to know who
coaching.
it should be? It should have been
You
Phil
don't need a
Foden that should
Griezmann.
have
You
been running
have
that
other
midfield,
players
but he
that
was
can
not.
do stuff.
He
Who,
was not
Devin?
playing correctly.
No, Devin, go on, Devin.
I will argue that Phil Foden should have been running that midfield.
running?
He always says that he's a number 10 as well. Phil Foden. That's his best position.
I will argue that, but he was not used properly.
Ken, quick question. Do you think England would have won that game or gone further with the French manager?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Yes.
No, not with my
With Deschamps.
With Deschamps,
Deschamps will get those guys in the
Yeah,
finals.
he'll get England over the line. He would.
He would get England in the finals.
Guys, quick question: how did France score that second goal? What happened? Can someone talk me through the
two
second?
unmarked headers, two
was a
unmarked
cross.
headers back to back.
But remember, right?
It
was Giroud hit the shot and the goalkeeper saved it. A resulting
Saved it,
corner
yeah.
kick and somewhere another cross back in the box.
Yeah, who was
So,
marking?
England was still
Maguire.
not organized.
Maguire
Yeah, it was
didn't
Maguire.
stop
We agree.
the cross.
But yet again, if you have a better manager would coach these players right
Or not.
in the way they want them to defend,
or
make Harry Maguire.
exactly.
It's simple.
I even think blaming Maguire is the wrong way to go. I even think blaming
It's two
Maguire is the
things.
wrong way to go.
It's one thing, and I agree with Ben.
Let Darren come in.
I agree with Ben say is that the better team did not win, the better manager won.
Yeah.
Now, in that, yes, we all know Southgate and his deficiencies and whatever. And France took advantage of one mistake, which was Southgate's mistake. So to me, that match finished 1-0. I could care less about the penalty and everything like that. The better manager won, the better individual who could have read the game and be like, okay, you make a mistake, I'm going to pounce on your mistake. I'm going to take advantage of your mistake. Because England could have won that game. That French team was a beatable team. But that English manager did not put the pieces or did not have any belief in who was there or who wasn't on the bench that they could have done the job. You cannot tell me you have Giroud, who's one of the most deadliest, underrated strikers in the modern game, and have one player marking. You cannot do that. You cannot bring on players hoping.
They spend all the time trying to mark Mbappe. That's what they're thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mbappe was not the danger. And to be brought into that false sense of thinking that if we stop Mbappe, that's it.
Exactly. That's where it's stupid.
So the better manager won because France did not need to go to Mbappe to win this game, in my opinion. But I will let you think that if that's what you want to think, no problem. You think that, and I would just hurt you with my other large pool of talent.
Did you notice for the first goal that
They didn't expect him to take that shot.
Henderson and Bellingham both went into the 12-yard box. So you literally had 7 English players in the 12-yard box defending. That means they left that midfield space completely open.
Yes.
So
yes.
I didn't think they were expecting him to shoot from there. That wasn't one thing that took them for surprise.
Yeah.
The first French goal. They didn't expect him to shoot.
But if you study Tchouaméni, he has that in his locker though. He's done that before. It's not the first time he's done it.
Okay.
So
now that England is out, Portugal is out, Brazil is out, Netherlands is out, we got 4 teams left. We got Argentina and Croatia, we got France and Morocco. Joe, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's going to the final?
It's going to be France.
France will play who?
But France is going to play Argentina. I think France is going to get there with talent, and Argentina is going to get there by
Dodgy referee.
Oh man, I want to see Darren laugh.
Crazy right
I want to
now.
see Darren laugh.
No, Darren, this is who we are. This is who we are. This is who we are. So you're gonna come back. This is who we are.
That was a good one.
There needs to be an armed band of Qataris just like looking at the opposing players. That's what's gotta happen, man. Yeah, it's they've been writing this story. They've written this story since the beginning, man. Argentina, France, final. You already know.
All right, Bams, who's going to the final?
Of course, man. If you don't have Argentina, France, the final is not a final, man. They have to make that happen, man.
So, so there's no Morocco, Croatia final.
FIFA, it ain't happening, bro. It ain't happening. They making Argentina and France go into that final. I could bet anything on it. Even though the calls, Argentina's gonna get the calls go their way. France get the calls go their way. They're gonna win and go to the final. Even though I don't think both of them should be. Well, it doesn't matter. They're both gonna be in the final, man. Come on.
So you can't see Croatia getting past Argentina.
I don't see how they get the calls in their favor, bro. That's all. I don't see how the calls get the calls in their favor.
Dang,
it's gonna be Argentina, France.
That's deep.
Croatia is a very physical team, and that's gonna play right into the hands of Argentina in their flanking ways. You know how that goes.
What is the difference, Joe?
I'm just messing around, Darren. But it's at the end of the day, you expect the better teams. You expect Argentina to make it. You expect France to make it. But I will say I won't be surprised to see an upset of either Croatia or Morocco making it.
So Argentina, are they the favorites in that game against Croatia? Are they the favorites?
Oh yeah,
of course they are.
Even though Croatia is beating Brazil, they're still the favorites. Argentina.
Of course, they're still the favorites.
Yeah, they'll be favorites, but the spread just won't be that big.
Anyone can win on penalties. So that's the thing. You can't take it to penalties. You got to take it.
Exactly.
You got to win the game yourself. Don't rely on penalties. Then it can go anyway.
All right. So, Kay, who's going to the final?
For me, I think it'll be France. But like Darren said, they've got to sell this final. So for me, they got to put. They got to make it marketable.
Especially it being in Qatar.
Exactly.
So
he said
France,
it himself. Yeah.
I think it'll be France and Argentina. Messi is written for Messi to win this. And I would not be surprised if Argentina won it. I would not be surprised.
Wow.
It's Sepp Blatter's parting gift.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow. That's cold. All right. Vim, who's going to the final?
Whoever the FIFA Exco committee want to be in the final, they'll get there.
Wait, why is this such a huge consensus?
Has anyone seen FIFA Uncovered on Netflix? Anyone seen that?
Have you seen that show?
I'm gonna watch it.
It's brilliant. Dan, have you seen that show? FIFA Uncovered.
I've seen the show. I've seen it.
So you can see where the fans we are coming from, right?
Exactly. There's corruption going in there. There's corruption going
there are little brand evidence going on, like, you know. Like, you know, they just say, I think your son is going to private school. I've paid his school fees for the next 3 years. You know, just, you know, these things happen. They happen all the time.
I cannot agree nor disagree or confirm or deny such allegations or statements.
You see? You see,
this is bro code, right?
You see, you know what? You're very well trained, man. You're very well trained. He's never gonna admit.
What's Jack Warner up to these days?
What's Jack Warner? Vim is asking how's Jack Warner.
Yeah, what's he up to these days, Jack Warner?
I think he just lost an extradition case, so he is laying low. I believe he's just laying low, enjoying life.
It was his own buddy that dobbed him in, wasn't it? Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck. What's his name? Yeah.
Rossi or whatever his name was. Yeah.
So Vim, you said that the teams in the final will be decided by the FIFA Executive Committee.
By the 24 members, yeah. Basically, you know, ticket prices for the final are 5,850 Qatari dirhams, which is about 1,300 quid. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the games have empty seats.
Yes.
And I think the final has to be a
I
spectacle.
know. Well,
Every seat needs to be filled.
Has the final already sold out though? I think it did.
Lord.
I
No,
think they've.
Someone was saying they're charged.
Right.
Whoever they
what
want
it
to
is?
see.
So
The
let me go
final-
to
So
Kevin.
whichever has big box office value, those teams will get to the final.
Right.
Tim's got a point there. Before England went through, someone I know who was out there said they were quoted £6,000 for a final ticket. Now England have gone out. Because you got to remember the people that are out there, they're paying the money for these games. So
Yeah.
if they're not in developing countries, they're not spending as much money.
Yeah. So they always want the countries that spend money
Develop.
to still be in the tournament. Like I was telling Ben, when USA and Mexico went out of the World Cup, most of the pubs in America were not having fans anymore because the USA fans were like, "No, I'm not watching USA anymore. They're not there, so they're not interested because they're not interested in football like that."
Correct.
So since USA is not there, they're
Okay.
So, yeah.
Tim, look
What's
at it.
speaking it?
Look at it in normal regular
Argentina
football.
fans will spend money.
Hold on, Ben.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at it with normal football. That's why you have seeded teams. It's not because they're seeded. They've got the biggest fan base, got the most money. You want those
Very
teams in
true.
there for longer because they're going to
Very
spend
true.
and travel.
Yes.
So it's all to do with money at the end of the day.
So, Vim said the two teams that got final will be decided by the executive FIFA committee planning development committee. Devin, who's going to the final?
I still believe the two underdogs will find a way to pull it off.
So you're thinking Croatia and Morocco?
Because again, it goes alongside of that mindset.
I
where
mean,
I said
that
before,
game won't sell.
Devin,
the reason being why I'm going to say that. Yes, I hear exactly all you're talking about FIFA behind the scenes, and they're going to want to be marketable and all this stuff. I still believe that whenever there's a tournament, what is the first match to sell out regardless? The final.
Yeah.
So people would have bought tickets for that no matter what, because that's like the bucket list for people. Like that's the first match you look at. After that, you start going, okay, semifinals. After that, okay, I will follow my team.
Right.
So you're seeing these ticket prices right now that are being sold for the final and whatnot. Those tickets already were sold by FIFA, so FIFA already made their money regardless.
Right.
Okay.
With that being said, I just think those underdogs are going to outwork the other teams.
So here's my thing. What of France, Croatia, which would be a repeat of the last World Cup? Do people want to see a repeat of a back-to-back?
No. It wasn't France, Croatia. It was Argentina, France.
No.
Argentina lost to Germany in
2014.
Yeah, it was France.
It was France,
Croatia. Because Croatia beat England, right?
Oh, France, Croatia in the last final.
Yeah. Croatia beat England in the semifinal.
I thought it was Argentina.
Argentina was 2014.
Yeah,
and they lost because of what was it, Higuain?
Yeah,
Devin, I'd love to agree with you, but look, what's this? Brown envelope. What's coming out of this?
Hey, come on, no.
It's not enough, Kay. You need more than that, man.
But again, like as much as I'm
at least
seeing
50,000, man.
The tickets already have been sold.
Oh man.
The tickets already have been sold, so it doesn't matter. FIFA already made their money, and they already got to pay Budweiser a bunch of money in their lawsuit, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah,
no, but they'll want the pool. They won't want it empty. They'll need bums on seats because it'll look bad on the telly.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Let me go to Ken. Ken, who's going to the final?
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards what Kevin said because if I was to ask, what is the theme of this World Cup?
Surprises and shocks.
Upsets.
Yeah, it's been an underdogs World Cup, hasn't it? So
you're saying Morocco, Croatia?
Yeah, I won't be surprised. And on paper, if you ask me on paper, like if without everything that's happened in this World Cup, it will have to be Argentina and France. But from the way things are going, and Morocco will be on it in this game. They know, look, we've got this far. This is the biggest game of our lives.
What of Argentina-Morocco final?
That would be exciting.
You might as well just give Messi the trophy while you're at it.
You might as well. I mean, those FIFA executives might as well just, you know what I'm saying, just send text messages.
I don't want to see Argentina in that final. I really don't. I'm rooting for Croatia. I really am.
Rooting for Croatia. Yeah,
Tim, can I ask you a question though? Because you were really upset when Portugal went out. Is that because of Ronaldo?
No. It was so much as in I thought they could have played better. Bruno was so disappointing. Of all the games, he decided that game I was going to be off form. Bruno was off form.
But that's what Bruno does, though, in big games.
I thought they had. I mean, the only person who really looked like was going to score was João Felix. Other than that, even the so-called wonder kid, nothing happened with him. And I would have done start Ronaldo, then bring the wonder kid on when things are not going well. But he did the complete reverse. At that time, Morocco had put the 2 banks of 4, and nothing was going through. So it was.
I think it would have been worse if you started Ronaldo, though. It would have been worse.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been worse. I think Ronaldo. Like hindsight, you know.
Okay, the wonder kid we all talked about, right? What did he do? He didn't have a single attempt on goal, not one.
Yeah, but that's because Morocco kept it tight and they didn't.
They kept it tight. They defended well.
And the midfield didn't create.
There's no space.
Yeah, that came down. They would have done the same thing. Ronaldo. They would have shut that Ronaldo.
Ronaldo would have had a terrible game if he started. It would have been one of the worst games that he's ever had if he started.
Ronaldo's done. That's what I've been telling people. He's finished now. His career. He just needs to go to America or Saudi or something.
Yeah, he won't come to America. I doubt it.
And going on the Ronaldo thing, this is why I think it's written for Messi to win it. Ronaldo won the Euro 2016. Messi's not won no.
No, he has.
He won the Copa.
He won the Copa last year.
I saw that game. I thought, nah, this is a fix.
No,
this was a game.
Because equivalent to the Euros.
If you want to go watch a game,
Darren,
if you want to watch a game that they fix, go watch last year's Copa, Brazil and Argentina. Now that was brown envelope game. Brown envelope.
Oh yeah. It was like
brown envelope and a suitcase.
We'll make it happen for you. This tournament. We'll make it just relax. Just do what you do. We'll make it happen for you. We'll make the calls your way. Don't worry.
The calls were ridiculous. I mean, come on. I'm not a referee.
Trophy. They just hey Messi, take the trophy. Yeah. Before the game even started, it's ridiculous.
No, okay. Like I've said on other platforms, I will agree that if there's a bad call, yes, I would voice my opinion. That is a bad call. What I will do in a public forum is what I will do in a public forum is
he's very well trained. I like this guy.
I will, and I am giving any human being the benefit of the doubt in your profession. I cannot come to an engineer and tell him, I cannot come to a civil engineer and tell him how to do construction. I can't do that. Even if I'm a civil engineer myself, that is your project. I cannot go to the garbage man and tell him how to pick up trash and what trash should be picked up and where. So why should I go to a referee in a match that I'm not appointed to and tell him how to referee? I'm not going to do that. I can have an opinion on the decision he makes.
Are you ready to be an MP?
No, Darren, please. Yeah, Darren, please always stay that way. Stay uncorruptible.
He's consistent.
Stay that way.
Be consistent. We love you, Darren. That is so good. Okay, let me ask. Darren, do you think there are dodgy referees out there? When I mean dodgy, who receive brand envelopes? Are there?
Yes. As with any profession. There's exposed to corruption, there's exposed to bribery as well as any profession. So within referees, and there are documented instances of that, of referees receiving bribes, either be it from the football mafia or some other.
It happens a lot in Italy for match fixing.
Exact match fixing. Yeah. So it is well documented that match fixing is a thing. All right, so I'm not going to be that naive or that blind to the truth to say, oh no, that doesn't happen, guys. Come on. But it does happen. It does happen. We are trained as referees to not fall prey to the ills that can plague the game. No, this happened on a match that I was appointed to. I was on the line for it, and it was in a what's the best way I could say this in a public forum. It was in a neighborhood that doesn't have the best reputation.
Right. All
right. And I'm on the line, doing my thing. And one of the spectators, he was like, and I'm going to say this for in a non-Trinidadian tongue. He was like, referee, I know you're going to make the best decision, and he lifted his shirt. And we could all imagine where that went, what he showed.
Hmm.
All right.
Wow.
And no, I'm there. I'm like, okay, is he really going to use this if I don't give a call in his team's favor?
Wow.
All right. Now, there comes the test of character. Because if a spectator, or even worse, a player or a team official, anybody on the bench, could get into the psyche of a referee, intimidate him, or try to sway him in giving calls in their favor, the match is basically done.
Yeah, it is.
The match is basically done. And this ties in to a point I wanted to bring up earlier, where Messi was basically threw that referee into the garbage bin after he received calls that was in his favor. There is where you're running the risk of a match official blatantly giving calls to benefit one team. You run the risk of that very team throwing you under the bus after they get what they want, and discrediting your decision-making powers further in the future. Now, would a referee receive any high-profile matches again in the future? May or may not, because why? Look at his performance in the last match. So we as referees are trained not under any circumstance not to let the match, one, get away from us in terms of managing the match, and two, not to let anybody, either the spectators or the players themselves or even the wider public, intimidate you into making calls. So back into my experience, when I continued calling the game down the middle or as objective as I can, at the end of the match, he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, good game."
Wow.
So
wow.
it is a real thing. It is a real thing.
Wow. Thank you very much, Darren.
Can I ask?
That was
Go on. Questions.
Quick question,
Anyone?
Darren. For a referee
Mhm.
being employed by FIFA, let's say, I don't know, for the next 6 to 8 years, would that be considered a good job or a good career prospects?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're much well, and as refereeing evolved over the years, your profession could be a match referee.
Right.
All right. Because we all know, like in other leagues, the referees have other professions, and then they are a match referee afterwards. They are a match referee on weekends or during the week whenever the game is, but they're either a police officer, an accountant, store manager.
They have a day job.
That's their job.
So if you were a FIFA referee, could you maintain that as a full-time job, or would that have to be a part-time gig?
It depends. Well, it depends on which league you're refereeing in. Because like in the Premier League, that's their job. Because
they get about 100K a year.
Exactly.
In the Premier League.
Premier League gets about 100 a year.
You used to be a police officer.
Exactly.
But I wonder, with international football, could a referee be set up for life under the employ of FIFA to say, look, come work for us and we'll look after you?
That's every 4 years.
Objectively, to answer our question, I have to do a bit more research into that. In that FIFA official is your official job title, because again, it's a performance-based occupation.
Right.
So as long as you keep the employers happy, you should be all right.
No, it's not as that. No.
But you know, in the UK, they almost streamline you to be a ref, so they know by the age of probably 20 who's going to be the refs in the Premier League and like League One, League Two. It's not. It's like a gentleman's club. It's not. It's not everyone can get in there.
No.
Wow. So there's also nepotism and favoritism in it.
In the UK,
it's like an old boys club, right? An old boys club.
As within any profession, there is as with any profession, there is a measure of, if you want to term it, nepotism. But if let's say my son wants to be a referee, and I'm on the referees committee. If my son is proving his worth, getting in his match assessment, he has 8.5 out of 10, 9.10, and he is producing the goods on the field, he would be appointed based on his own merit, not because his father is on the appointments committee. So it is.
in an ideal world.
In an
But there's
ideal
also
world,
the power of influence by people you know within the group or within that old network of referees or officials.
It's good to know people.
Well, you know, those people who we all go in the same golf club. We all play golf together.
No, well, it's nice to know people. It's nice to be well connected, but it is not based on your connections. It's not based on who you know.
In the ideal world,
it's based on what you know.
I don't know, Darren. You know, in where you are in the Premier League, when I used to work at Bolton Wanderers, a Premier League ref had to train with a club. So at Bolton, it used to be. Remember Mark Halsey?
Yeah, I know Mark Halsey.
He used to train with Bolton, so he could never referee a Bolton game because he trains with Bolton, and he used to train with the goalkeepers. So, like, obviously there's affiliations, but like, I don't know. It's hard to say in it because they still can get influence. Because obviously, if you're training with a team that if you're a ref and you train with a team, say for instance, towards the end of the season, that team you're repping a team that might be fighting relegation, let's say. Your judgment call by the influence.
No. Yeah. To answer that, there are referees who are school teachers.
Okay.
And in the secondary school league, which is happening now, the referees are not going to be appointed to a school match that they teach at. So let's say I'm a teacher at Port of Spain Anglican. They won't appoint me to a Port of Spain Anglican game. And there you eliminate the measure of bias, you eliminate the conflict of interest, you eliminate those things. It happens in our top flight of football as well. The biggest game in our top flight of football is the Defence Force versus the Police FC. You will not get a match official who works for the police service or a match official who's in the Defence Force. You will not get that.
Right. It's gonna be a neutral.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Anyone? Any questions? Anybody?
Any questions? You know, predicting on that. You know, is it Mike Dean? They said because he's a Leeds fan. That's why they used to say whenever he ref Man United, there was always dodgy decisions because you know Leeds Man United. No, he goes and watches Leeds.
Yeah. So
Darren,
Darren, there are
wait. Wasn't Mike Dean a Tranmere fan? A Tranmere Rovers fan?
Yeah, Tranmere. Is it Tranmere? There is one that's a Tranmere one, but
because it was a high-profile official that was a lower division fan.
Yes.
And I think it was him.
I can't remember. Is it Michael Oliver's a Newcastle fan? I can't remember, but a lot of them
they have the local teams they support.
Let me hold on. Let me look it up. Let me see.
They're not meant to disclose what team they support.
They're not allowed to disclose who they support.
Yeah, but there is biases there.
I wouldn't agree to the full term bias to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
I am a consumer of the sport. I am intricately related to the sport. I am still human. I still like who I like.
Yeah, you still have a team you would support. But are you guys allowed? Are you supposed to declare who you support, or you're not allowed to declare that?
It's not ethical to.
Okay.
Because if fans find out about that, it's a problem.
Oh yeah, fans. Because any decision. Oh hell.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
Right. It's not ethical to.
Right. Any other questions? Joe, any questions? Bems, any questions? Devin, any questions? Ken, any questions?
Devin, you were right. It is Tranmere. You know Tranmere is near Liverpool. Tranmere is near Liverpool.
It's in the north. It's up north.
Yeah, northwest, but to Liverpool. So that's why they always used to say he gave us dodgy decisions.
So Darren, you see, from the fans' perspective, when we know where a ref comes from and his affiliation with that side of England, and the decision making against us, we're like, oh hell! You see what I mean?
There is no way.
I do have a question for Darren.
Joe has a question for you.
Sorry, my question for Darren is, what is your opinion on VAR?
Yeah.
Does it hurt or help? Do you see it helping your profession, or does it hurt your profession?
Great question, guys.
Very good question. Subjectively, it still needs improvement in the application of it. objectively, it is there to improve the game. Now, you're seeing some calls where the player's kneecap is offside. So by then and there, the player's offside and the goal is disallowed. But to the naked eye, how are you seeing that?
Yes.
All right. So VAR is there to enhance the quality of decision making within the parameters of the laws of the game.
Right.
All right.
That makes sense.
Subjectively, I would want to think it gives the on-field officiating team a safety net in that, okay, if you make a bad decision, no problem, you have VAR to fall back on,
right,
to get the decision correct. So the notion of bad calls should die down, should be eliminated, because you have a safety net to make the correct decision.
Yeah,
but VAR's not consistent. That's the problem.
There's where my contention is, because you have it in a decision. There's a precedent now. There's a precedent you set. Now you have to apply that precedent across the board, and there is where my personal issue is that you apply the laws in this context, but then it changes for another context.
Is that the inconsistencies and discrepancies at times?
Yes, and there I could understand where the fans' disgust with VAR comes in, because it's not consistent.
Right. Okay. Anyone? Any more questions? Anyone? Any more? Anyone?
Do you think you watched the game yesterday, right? Darren, England game. Do you think there should have been additional penalties for England based on those fouls?
No. Now you're going down the road.
Bellingham, Kane, right the edge.
Penalty. I want to speak on the Kane penalty, because there is where a lot of discussion came into play, where the involvement of VAR. Now, VAR is an assistant referee. VAR is not an independent refereeing system. All right. So, with the evidence presented at VAR, they and all, I would like to think, was really not too sure. It wasn't a grave mistake. It wasn't a clear and obvious error. But I in the VAR truck really cannot decide what to present. So here's what: on-field decision team, we are going to support whatever decision you make. So with the Kane penalty incident, I think that's where they were going, because the issue was, is it in the box or out the box? Now, you don't want to make the wrong call in that situation, because if it's in the box, it's a penalty, which is a match-changing incident. It's out the box, it's a free kick, but you run the risk of making the wrong call in that situation. So you want to say they played it safe in that situation? Yeah.
So what is considered excessive force? So you can do a barge, but then when is it too much in terms of
the football is a physical game to a point.
It is a physical game, but there is excessive force.
There is no metric.
Yeah, but how do you decide?
Each referee differently.
No, and there's where you go. Each referee would assess excessive force differently.
And how do you know a player didn't just overdive to get the foul?
No, there's where FIFA comes in the laws of the game, asking referees to have football knowledge. Now, what does that term mean? You have to know you have to get into the psyche of a player. You have to know when the player might switch. You have to know, okay, this player might be over-exaggerating the pain he is feeling. You might think that the player might try to cheekily extend his hand to stop the ball. All right? Now, for those who haven't played the sport, it would be a bit harder, because you may not have you may not be in a player's shoe as to think how he would think, or try to make a decision that he might make. A segue, a shoot off of that is referees do their homework before every match or during every tournament. They do their homework on what tendencies or what decisions a player might make, what style of player a team may play. So as we speak, they may be running classroom sessions on the upcoming matches.
Darren, this is the thing that I think a lot of fans need to hear. I think they think that referees just do the game and then that's it. Tell them to the next game.
No.
They get feedback on every game they do. They get all the information. Yeah, but it's good that you're saying that.
You understand? Again, referees do their homework they see they have a probable team list. They have a possible formation. They know who are the danger men on the team. So they would be like, okay, let's say with Messi. Messi is a player that receives a lot of tackles. Now the referee has to decide, okay, which tackles are excessive force, which tackles are legit fouls, or if it's just something like Messi is over exaggerating. We do not show up to a field, and I will confidently say this in a public space. We do not show up to the match venue, put on a uniform, and go out there and blow whistles and wave flags. No, it doesn't work like that. We too have match preparation, just as the players. Because we need to keep up with the game. It doesn't need to keep up with us.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
okay. Thank you very much for enlightening us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Joe.
You're welcome.
This play, first game, Ecuador versus
very good.
Qatar.
Very good.
I need you to explain to me, like a child, how this was offsides and disallowed.
All right.
This was a big one.
Let me just pull this up because this was a very hot talking point. Now, you have to understand where certain things called the phase of play. Now, a phase of play is legit that, a phase. So a phase begins, a phase ends. A phase begins, a phase ends, and it goes like that. So I am pulling, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Do I have it on this phone still? No.
This one was a big one that we couldn't get to the bottom of.
The general thing was, and I would like to see, just come back up with it, please.
Joe, can you pull it back up?
Oh, I can.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, just share
Joe, Joe's in the bar room. Can you replay it, please?
That's the host.
Oh man!
Is that the one where the guys on the line, isn't it?
All right, let me hold on. All right.
You have to allow that feature.
All right, hold on. Let me change it.
Where is it? Where is it?
Joe, where's Joe?
Joe, Sepp Blatter's not there with you, is he?
Nah.
Tell him he's not allowed in that room. with the brown envelope.
Let me see.
Okay, you could now. I made you host, so you could share your screen.
All right. Yeah.
So what happened? Was his elbow offside or something?
Actually, it was from the review. They showed that it was his left, his right leg, I believe, that was offside.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. Hold this up.
Would a hand be considered offside?
Very good question. No, is which part of your arm? Because according to the laws of the game, and I need you to freeze it there. I need you to pull it back like at the instant where the keeper made contact with the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going back, keep going back there. Now I'll keep going. Keep going.
His foot was offside, wasn't it?
And keep going. Stop.
His foot was offside.
Stop. Right, good. Now I need people to understand this, and I'm going to answer the handball question after that.
Yeah.
The phase of play, the free kick was taken, and then it reached here, right? Now, I'm not too sure if you have the clip where it was enhanced, where the keeper made contact with the ball.
Yeah.
Now, that phase of play has completed. The second phase is where the ball is going after and all of that. And at that moment, this secondary player decided of it.
His foot was in front of the keeper, wasn't it?
Right. Now, you have to understand something with offside. With offside, the basic is that the player was ahead of the second to last defender and the goalkeeper. In this frame, who is the second to last defender?
The keeper.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Because the goalkeeper is not fixated in the penalty area. The goalkeeper could go anywhere.
Yeah.
And thus, the second to last defender would be obviously somebody new. So there is where the offside was, because I am trying to get this in my chat.
See, but this is the thing that kind of confuses us too.
I want to
wait. Man, I'm a bit confused now.
No, it's a bit technical, because I'm trying to share a picture here, but my camera's not picking it up.
Yeah, it's because of your background. Yeah. You have to turn
Let's
up
see if
the
I can take off
background.
my background.
Yeah. And
because I watched this video different ways, man. I just could not see this thing was offside. I couldn't find anywhere where you could call this offside. I just didn't see it.
Right.
It was Benz. It was the right foot of the attacker. The right foot of the attacker. It was just slightly in front.
Which player?
Okay, so
the one next to the keeper.
So
yeah, the one next to the keeper.
At this point in time, right? The one next to the keeper. Which
no,
one?
No. It's after this bit. It's not the keeper. It's the guy there. The one in front of them. After this, when he makes contact, he's a bit further forward. Number 11 it is.
Oh, okay. So my thing is, if Ray can catch that, how is it that it misses so many other calls?
No, there is.
Hey, Joe, can you rewind it just a little bit?
On the video?
Can you rewind it just a little? Yeah, just rewind the video just a little bit before the keeper.
It was VAR
touches the ball.
It wasn't the ref. It was VAR.
It was VAR who called that decision.
Pause.
Let me.
So you're saying one of these two players, right? One of those two players that are behind the goalkeeper were offside?
His foot was slightly in front of the keeper, yeah. I mean, it's slightly in front, right?
So one of those two players in
when the keeper
made yellow.
No, when the keeper made contact with the ball, one of those two.
His foot was ahead of him.
I see. His foot. It's funny how they picked that up. I mean, wow.
Okay, so
his
foot was ahead of it. But my thing is, the goalkeeper punched the ball away. Did that play in yellow? Did he?
So what they're saying is when the goalkeeper punched the ball, it hit the Ecuadorian player.
Right. Oh, it hit Ecuadorian player before it went out. Before the ball went out. Oh.
And that's where the confusion came in.
Okay. I didn't see that one right there.
I had to look it over so many times as well to figure that one out too. Which amazes me that the VAR caught that in that moment in that amount of time.
Yes.
So at that point in time where it hits, that's where the offside is.
Yeah, right.
So
there,
watch.
Right
so keeper hits the ball, and then it hits the Ecuadorian player. At that point, then is where you determine the offside from because it hit an attacking player last.
That's wild that they caught that, man. There's no
that's exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I
bro. But they didn't take time. It was a real quick decision.
Bro,
that made it feel like they were like, nah, they're not gonna let this one go in. It's too
Darren, thank you for clearing it up, because I still had to think like, how did they pick that up? But so VAR has its advantages and its disadvantages, like I said, subjective and objective.
I feel like
because when we were kids, it always used to be last man, but it's changed.
Yeah, it's changed. It used to be the last man further forward.
Well, I mean, because of the way how the offside rule is usually played is because remember it has to be two defenders, and because the keeper is so far back, you think that the defender is automatically last man. But when the keeper comes up, he's not one of the last two anymore, or usually, and that's where it gets confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for clearing that up, Darren.
You're welcome, man. No problem. I want to answer the handball, the hand incident. Now, with offside, you want to take into consideration, now this is where things get technical, the goal scoring part of your anatomy. What could you use that would legally score a goal? Head, chest, knee,
body,
right foot, body, your back,
whatever. But not your hand.
Exactly.
Anything but your hand.
Exactly.
Is it still sleeve, Darren? Is it still up to your sleeve? Or have they changed that rule?
Very good, yes.
Yeah.
Up to they give you room to like at the beginning of the shoulder there, that area there. Anything like here, but anything going down, no, because it will still count as a handball offense anywhere on the part of the field. So why would it change in the penalty area?
Wow, that's deep.
So this is where VAR is supposed to help in the quality of decision making, when it's applied correctly.
Wow.
When it's applied correctly. So
I've got a question for Darren.
yeah.
Darren,
Yes.
how do you know what's off? How do you decide an indirect versus indirect free kick?
Oh, you're getting no. There's within the laws of the game, there's an entire section on that. Indirect free kick, direct free kick. Now, most offenses results in direct free kicks. A direct free kick is a kickoff, goal kick, free kick, penalty kick. Those are direct free kicks. An indirect free kick requires a second player to touch the ball.
Touch the ball.
Yeah.
Then the ball becomes live or in play.
So how do you decide? Say, for example,
It depends on the depends on the type of infringement.
Yeah, well, that's what I've never understood. Like some fouls are direct, some fouls are indirect. So how do you
there's loads.
Yeah, I've never
Okay,
understood that either.
Different rules on it. There's loads.
Let me get into the rules of the game. Just I'm gonna read this quickly. A direct free kick. This is law 12. Direct free kick is awarded if a player commits any of the following offenses against an opponent in a manner considered by the referee to be either careless, reckless, or using excessive force. So, and there's a list of offenses under that. You have the jumps at, pushes, strikes on opponent, tackles or challenge, trips or attempt to trip. And then you all know how a direct free kick is taken after that. An indirect free kick, let me just get the word for that. Ball and start and restart to play. Pause and misconduct. That is still law 12. An indirect free kick is awarded if a player either plays in a dangerous manner, impedes the progress of an opponent without any contact being made, is guilty of dissent using offensive or insultive or abusive language, prevents the goalkeeper from releasing the ball from the hands, or kicks or attempts to kick the ball when in the process of releasing it, commits any other offenses not mentioned in the laws for which play is stopped to, caution or send off a player. Now, it's not vague terms. FIFA and IFAB clearly illustrates the parameters on which or know what type of offenses a direct free kick or indirect free kick is, is given. So an example, a standard sliding tackle, free kick. But if a player raises his foot too high in the vicinity of his opponent's face, that is playing in a dangerous manner, indirect free kick.
Okay, cool, makes sense. Thanks.
All right, gentlemen, any more?
Sorry, Darren, can you see my background? What do you make of this one? Do you think that's a red card offense, or I'll move out the way?
Okay. Oh, this incident.
Oh, the Italian one.
Yeah, the final.
Yellow. 20.
Look at that.
That was a Euro final. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Italy and England.
In Wembley.
All right.
It's a yellow. It's a yellow.
Yeah,
It's a yellow, yes.
It's a booking, but I don't think it's a straight red.
No, it's not a straight red.
Look at that. It just hooked the guy up.
But I think it should have been a booking, though.
Well, Vim, it's like with Hernandez, they were saying that the push on Mate should have been a red. Mate didn't have control of the ball, so it's
But he was the last player.
Well, he didn't have control of the ball. It wasn't a goal scoring opportunity.
No, thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up, because there is where another angle you need to take. Was it a goal scoring opportunity?
It was. He was the last player. He was on goal.
He was not the last man. He was not the last man.
It doesn't work on last man anymore.
It doesn't work on that. No,
so what does it work on? The goalkeeper?
No, if you got control of the ball. If you got control of the ball and you're through on goal, and you're the last man, then that'll be a red card. So the ball was in the air. So it wasn't a clear goal scoring opportunity.
No, the term for that by the laws of the game is DOGSO. DOGSO, denying of an obvious goal scoring opportunity. And there's a measure of criteria needed to establish DOGSO. You want to look at the things that his distance from the goal, the amount of defenders behind him, those sort of things you want to establish before you want to set up before using such a scenario.
Right.
So is a lot more. it used to be black and white. Refereeing used to be a black and white affair. Now you have a lot more technicalities to take into consideration. You have a lot more technicalities to take into consideration.
And the new things they've implemented are supposed to make the game better, but they seem to have caused a bit more confusion than what used before. Before, in offside, once the striker was ahead of the defenders behind them, it was already offside. It was straight flag. Now it was clear daylight. Now they've done so much, like we don't even know the rules anymore. It's just like
it gives them more to talk about. That's what they want. They want us to talk more about it.
Well, what I think IFAB and FIFA want to do with the laws of the game is give the referees a bit more of a managerial task rather than a controlling task. Right. They want to give the referees a bit more of a, here's what we need you to go and manage this event rather than you go and control proceedings.
Right.
Because football is not about the referees. People don't pay their money to come and see us. Okay, so the more of an indirect influence we can have, the better, because we are not the ones who score the goals.
That's true.
So that's all on you. That's all on you players. What we can do,
gentlemen, I want to say, Dan, thank you. You have cleared up so much. I hope we're going to we're going to see you again. We'd love to see you again and bring you on the show, because there's so much referee decisions. It's going to be like our special guest, like Mike Dean. They're bringing on to come and talk about decisions and big games.
Darren makes it make sense.
You know what I mean? And we're like, we've been arguing like that referee, he's a dodgy bastard.
It's funny bringing him in, because like right before the show started, I was like, I messaged him and I'm like, you know what? We were talking about refereeing decisions. I got a friend who's a ref. Let me bring him on and see what happens. It seems like before you guys were so against him, ready to claim FIFA, this and that, and now it seems like you're like, oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah. I want to thank the UK crew. I know it's late for you guys. Vim, Kay, Ken, thank you very much for staying up and joining the show. And I want to thank Darren, the special guest referee and part of the crew now. Thank you very much, Dan, and my US crew, Bems, Devin, and Joe. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Next stop, we're gonna see who's going to the finals on Sunday. Sunday's the finals next Sunday, but we'll have a show on Saturday to talk about who's gonna literally win. But my thought is, I just want a good game, and I just hope Argentina don't go there. That's my thought. And with that, from all of us, it's goodbye. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Joe, you know what to do, because I've made you host, so take it from there.